Have you ever wondered how modern applications are deployed at scale? What if I told you that the secret behind this is something called containers? And to manage them efficiently, we have a Kubernetes. In this video, we will break it down step by step, starting from what containers are, why we need Kubernetes, and how everything fits together. So let's dive in. What is container? Imagine that you have an application that needs to run on a machine. Traditionally, we use virtual machine, but they were heavy, slow, and resource intensive. Then came containers, which changed everything. Unlike VMs, containers share the OS kernel, making them lightweight and fast. Container packaged everything together. That is, code, dependencies, and libraries are stitched together so they can run anywhere. This means you can run multiple containers on the same machine efficiently. Let's create a layer cake diagram for the same. At the bottom, we will be having a hardware infrastructure. That is our servers or the cloud environment at extra. Above that, we have a OS, that is our Linux OS or a Windows, that is our OS. And on the top of OS, we can run container engine. So on the top of that, we will be having a container engine. It can be anything like Docker or Podman, and inside that we can create a multiple containers. So each of these circles will be a container that runs an application. So if we want to deploy multiple application, we can create a multiple containers on the same. Then the app interacts with the user through the containerized environment. So user will directly connect with the application onto the container environment. In this way, we don't need to load our servers with the virtualized environment, because in the container, it will be just like a process which is running at OS level. So it will not take that much of resources. So it is a very lightweight and fast. As soon as our application get the more traffic, we can spin up another container using the Docker run command, and the application will be accessible from that particular container itself. Containers are awesome, but what happens when you have hundreds or thousands of them? How do you manage, scale, or restart them if they crash? So if our container got crashed, so in case this container got crashed and it is not accessible from the outside world, so what happens? So we need to manually go and run the Docker run command to spin up a new container so that our application will be accessible in that scenario. But if we have hundreds of application are running on the container engine, so we need to identify which container got crashed, and we need to run the respective application or respective Docker command for the same. So in this case, we will be having lots of issues to manage the container engine. This is where the Kubernetes comes in. Think of Kubernetes as a traffic controller that manages multiple containers running across multiple machines. Think of Kubernetes as a traffic controller that manages multiple containers running across multiple machines. It automates deployments and scalings. It also handles failures and restarts containers whenever it's needed. And it also balances traffic between running applications. In short, Kubernetes make running container at scale easy and efficient. So this is a basic differentiation between the Docker and Kubernetes. Docker is great for individual container deployment. If you want to run a single application, Docker is great for that. But if you have a tons of application running inside your containerized environment, then the Kubernetes will be very helpful tool in that scenario. It solves limitation of standalone Docker by managing scale and reliability. So whenever our application got crashed, it will automatically recreate the container with the same application so that our application will be running and accessible by the outside world. In short, Kubernetes makes running container at scale easy and efficient. In Kubernetes, the smallest unit is not container, but pod. A pod is like a wrapper around one or more containers. It provides networking and storage to containers inside it. Kubernetes does not manage individual containers directly. Instead, it manages pods. So when Kubernetes needs to deploy an application, it actually deploys a pod that contains the app's container inside it. So now you understand what containers are, why we need Kubernetes, and how it works at high level. In the next video, we will take a deep dive into Kubernetes architecture, covering nodes, control plane, and more. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you. and see you in the next video.